By the end of this motivational story, you'll realize how staying silent in these 10 moments can transform your life. There was a king whose kingdom was going through difficult times. Famine ravaged his lands. Neighboring rulers refused to help him, and his people murmured against his rule. Distressed, he sent his messenger to the wise Buddha, seeking answers. Ask him why I suffer so much. Why is my kingdom in ruins? Why does no one extend a helping hand? The messenger left, but returned without saying a word. He simply bowed his head in silence. What did he say? The king asked impatiently. The messenger remained silent. Furious, the king sent him again. Once more, the man returned without words. On the third attempt, when the messenger came back mute yet again, the king lost his patience. If you do not tell me what he said, I will order your execution. The messenger only smiled and, without uttering a single word, withdrew. Overcome with fury and desperation, the king decided to go face Buddha himself. He traveled for days until he found the sage meditating under a fig tree. Without hesitation, he dismounted from his horse and advanced with heavy steps. "Oh, Buddha, I demand answers," he shouted. "I sent my messenger 3 times, and he returned without a single word. Are you mocking me?" Buddha slowly opened his eyes and smiled. "Your messenger understood what you have not yet realized." The king frowned. "I suffer. My people suffer. My kingdom is falling apart. I want to know why." Buddha looked at him with serenity and said, "I will give you 10 answers, but only if you listen to them without interruption." The king, driven by curiosity, crossed his arms and nodded. Buddha then began, "First, when you are criticized, remember that silence allows for reflection and learning. You reject advice, ignore criticism, and punish those who dare to disagree with you. Instead of learning from mistakes, you react with anger. Second, during an argument, understand that in fights, ego wins, not truth. Your kingdom does not receive help because you have turned allies into enemies. You argue to prove you are right, not to find the truth. Third, when faced with someone's anger, realize that responding only fuels the fire of rage. You retaliate against every offense with more offense, every threat with more war. That is why your neighbors fear you, but do not respect you. Fourth, when you are sad, know that introspection leads to self-knowledge. You look for someone to blame for your suffering, but do not look within yourself. You never question whether your decisions have led your kingdom to this misery. Fifth, if you are provoked, understand that silence disarms those who try to irritate you. You anger easily, making yourself predictable. Your enemies manipulate you because they know how to stir your rage. Sixth, when it is unnecessary to intervene, accept that sometimes interference is futile. You try to control everything and everyone without trusting your advisors. But not everything is in your hands, and some battles do not need to be fought. Seventh, if you take pride in your own knowledge, remember that true wisdom is humble. You may consider yourself the wisest, but a king who does not listen is a king who closes himself off from true understanding. Eighth, if no one is ready to hear the truth, understand that truth only has value when the other person is open to it. You shout your commands, but do not win hearts. A people who fear their king will not follow him out of love, but out of fear. And fear does not last forever. Ninth, when circumstances are beyond your control, recognize that maintaining calm is a sign of strength. You allow anger and frustration to dominate your mind. If you wish to save your kingdom, you must first save yourself from the storm within your soul. 10th, when your heart is full of gratitude and happiness, know that silence is the greatest expression of peace. You seek answers to ease your suffering, but have you ever stopped to be grateful for what you have? Gratitude silences the mind and opens the heart. The king was left speechless. For the first time, he had nothing to say. He fell to his knees before Buddha and bowed his head. At that moment, he understood. His messenger had returned in silence because silence was the answer. He realized that his suffering did not come only from his people's hunger, but from his own soul's hunger. A hunger for control, pride, and recognition. Standing up, he took a deep breath and returned to his kingdom. But this time, not as a king who commands with shouts, but as a king who listens. And so, little by little, his kingdom began to change. Because true transformation begins in the silence of those who are willing to learn. If this video inspired you, be sure to like, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. We appreciate every one of you.